Here we are in our nation's capital. Beautiful Thursday night. Astros leaving town after tonight. Ryan Zimmerman, 5 hits in this series. His bat's starting to come alive. And it's game 4 as the Nationals go for their first ever, yes, first ever could be sweep at home. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. The starters continue to set the tone for this whole thing. Although Houston has a pretty good one out there themselves tonight.
Yeah, I think it's the sleeper starting pitching matchup of the night in baseball. Bud Norris has got good stuff. He's not afraid to come right after you. And Edwin Jackson, we all know about the 92-pitch complete game where he struck out 9. 7-pitch first inning for him last time set the tone. So he got out of the gate quick. And I know, just like you and the rest of National fans, he's hoping that the offense gets out of the gate quick and gives him a little bit of run support early tonight so he can relax and throw strikes. But Bud Norris has got great stuff. He's a bulldog out there, not afraid to pound the strike zone. So I think marquee matchup in the big leagues tonight.
Norris, his 71st career start. And for Edwin Jackson, his 176, 61 career wins. He got above 500 with that complete game over the weekend. How about the closing tandem right now? Lidge and Henry Rodriguez getting the job done. Lidge, a couple of saves on the year, 225 in his career. And how about Henry? Did it last night. He has 3 this year and 5 total, doing the job out of the pen right now. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Beautiful night to come up the escalator to the ballpark, and the Nats going for a 4-game sweep, and they're trying to win their 9th game in their last 10. It's a gorgeous night on which to do it. Visit Train.com. For an independent train comfort specialist dealer near you, it's hard to stop a train. Clear skies, 68 degrees, just a hint of a breeze. And here come the Astros. They are 10th in the league in hitting, 11th in runs. Nats have shut down some pretty good bats in this series, but Jordan Schaefer does have 4 hits and RBI. He's 5th in the National League in runs, and he's 4th in stolen bases. So with their old guy gone to Atlanta, Bourne, they might have found a new leadoff hitter. Here's Edwin Jackson, 2-0 career. 5 games, 4 starts against Houston with a good ERA. 3.65 against the Astros.
And he's coming off that complete game gem we just talked about last Saturday against the Reds. Was touched for just 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 9 and walked 1 through 92 pitches, 67 for strikes. And we showed the batting average against 128. That's second in the National League to Matt Cain, who has a 114 batting average against. And all he's done in the last 18 innings is allowed 4 base runners. So some pretty good company for Edwin Jackson. Let's set the defense behind him tonight. Bernardina and Keelan Worth in the outfield. Lombardozzi and Zimmerman on the left side. Espinoza and LaRoche on the right side. And Wilson Ramos doing the catching. So Carp, the secret weapon, is in there tonight at shortstop, getting his first start after a 4 for 5 the other night.
Yeah, he got this series off to a great start Monday. Ian Desmond, his first glitch of the season. 1 for 13 in this series. And Davey Johnson said he got kind of a funny look from Ian as he walked by today. These guys want to be in there.
Prozac day.
Mental day off. Rookie umpire Chris Conroy at home. Rookie umpire David Rackley at second. Veterans Welke and Cheetah on the bases. Umpire says let's play ball, and here we go at 7:06 Eastern time. Strike one right on the corner. So Jordan Schaefer raising his batting average up to 279. He also has an on-base percentage of 404. Play back, he'll lay down a bunt on you too. Very late for that. He won't be bunting now.
And the rest of the Astros will be seeing a fastball, slider, curveball change. And I thought the key to Edwin Jackson's last outing was his changeup command, a pitch that he doesn't throw very much, but he threw it a lot for strikes. You know, he started out 94-95 with the fastball, got stronger as the game went on. It was 96-97 late in the game.
Wow, what a good way to start the game. A 3-pitch strikeout with a tag by Ramos after a ball in the dirt. First 2 starts, 7 innings per, although he did go 9 last time. A dozen pitches per inning, that's a wonderful average. Very few 3-ball counts, and nobody hitting him hard at all. Here's Jose Altuve playing second base tonight, and he's 3 for 8 in this series, way inside for a ball. I think we need to remind people how rare it is what Edwin did last time out. Who throws a 92-pitch complete game anymore? That ball hit pretty well to right. Worth puts his head down and runs, and he can't get it. The ball will stay in, and Altuve's thinking about 3. Here comes the relay from Espinoza. It is high, and that's why pitchers back up. A throw right on target. There might have been a play, and that kid continues to hit the ball hard in this series.
First thing we did last night when we filled out our lineup cards is we said, oh, good. Jose Altuve's not in the lineup tonight. Had the night off last night. Hit the ball hard a bunch of times the first 2 games of this series, and you see tonight all over that fastball away, and he drilled that ball the other way. I didn't know he had that kind of pop.
Second triple of the year, the 3rd of his young career. Zimmerman couldn't reach that. Here's Edwin Jackson backing up right there and keeping that from being a Little League home run. Here's J.D. Martinez. Didn't play last night. In the series, 0 for 6 with 4 punch-outs and 3 walks. So he goes up hacking. That's a base hit. Even if Lombardozzi comes up with it, run would have scored. Who knows if he could have thrown out J.D. Martinez. And that quickly, the Astros have an early lead.
And I think the big reason why Edwin Jackson's last start, the complete game 92 pitch deal, was 92 pitches, is the Reds were very aggressive. They came out swinging early in the count. The balls were hit right at people. He got some early outs. We talked about in the open a 7-pitch first inning last time out. A little different tonight.
So how does Carlos Lee approach this? He's 3 for 7 career against Jackson with a home run. And he goes up hacking. So Schaefer struck out on 3 pitches, and everybody else going right after Edwin Jackson. That's have controlled Carlos Lee in this series. He's 1 for 12 with an opposite field single. Check swing, and that's on the corner, 0-2. Lee didn't like the call. Probably asking, did I swing or was that a called strike?
That was a well-placed fastball by Edwin Jackson. 92 miles an hour right on the inside corner. Lee didn't like the call. Let's see what Pitch Track thinks. A little bit off the plate in.
Carlos Lee doesn't strike out much at all. Doesn't hit into many double plays because he's a fly ball hitter. And now Jackson's going to try to get him to pound one on the infield somewhere.
I mean, you think of Edwin Jackson, you think, wow, he's got a good fastball, and he does, and he can move it around on you. But I think all of his success is determined by his secondary pitches. If he's getting his slider over, if he's throwing at the back knee of lefties with 2 strikes, is he getting his changeup over? Because a lot of hitters will get on that fastball early in the count, but if he's throwing that off speed for strikes, that's why he's been successful.
And there's an 0-2 pitch hit into left field. 3 consecutive balls, very hard hit. First and second, 1 out.
A slider with 2 strikes, and Lee does a nice job of going down and getting it. Probably a little bit too much plate. Another base hit for the Astros.
In 3 games, coming in 20 hits. In 1 inning here, less than an inning, 3 base hits in a row. Ryan Bogusevic is next. He's 0 for 4 in the series. He's been hit by a pitch. Steps in batting $121. That's a high strike on a fastball. Well, on this homestand, starting pitchers is usually walking back into the dugout right about now. This will be a long first inning. And that ball is hit hard. That is unreachable for Worth. It bangs off the scoreboard, takes an indirect carom to the right. Martinez has scored. Lee coming home. They've got him with a good throw, and Ramos drops the ball. 3 runs for Houston. Danny Espinosa put it right there.
A nice piece of hitting right here by Bogusevic. Takes a slider right over the plate. Backed up a little bit on Edwin Jackson. Puts a charge into it and right. And you see the funny hop for Worth. Good job of hustling with this baseball. Got to it quick, and that gave Danny Espinosa a shot with that big right arm of his to throw him out. And I think maybe Wilson Ramos took a little peek right there because he had some kind of train coming to knock him down. You got a big guy coming around third base as big as Carlos Lee. You're going to take a peek, and I think he did.
And the Astros are teeing off on Edwin Jackson suddenly.
I don't know if Carlos Lee's coming at me and I got all that gear on. I'm going to take a little look to see where he's at.
That is no swing, says Bill Welke down at first base. And the count's 2-0. Matt Downs' first appearance of this series on the season. He's 0 for 6. I believe that was scored 2-run double, 3rd on the throw. Now we hear they gave him a triple, probably because of that carom. He would have made it to third base anyway. He was going to make it to third a whole lot easier than Carlos Lee was going to make it home. And the Nats had a real shot at him.
That's a pretty heads-up play by Danny Espinosa, because as a relay man right there, you have your choice. You're going out lining up to home, but if you don't think you have a play at home, you can also throw that ball to third base. Espinosa realizing the speed of both runners, decided to go for the slower guy at the plate, and that was some kind of throw.
Yeah, somebody gave him the right instructions on that relay. 2-1 pitch. That'll be out of play, right side. This is not the biggest inning in the first by a visiting team on this homestand. Cincinnati, amidst all that controversy on Sunday, got 4 in the first. And that's in the dirt, ball 3. The number 7 hitter on deck already, Jason Castro. Well, Brad Mills doesn't look like he's enjoying a 3-run first inning, but that's pretty much his approach all the time. His ball club's lost 4 straight. They're 4-8 on the season. And that little tapper foul will keep it 3-2.
I mean, this becomes a big at-bat right here and a big pitch in this game. You can win a baseball game in the first inning. The way the Nats offense has been scoring runs recently, if you can strand that guy at third and keep this to a 3-0 game, you got a chance.
Matt Downs, Giants for a couple of years. Third year in Houston as a part-time player. Hit .276 in 106 games last year. That ball is hit hard. Deep left center. Inkeel watching it, and it is off the wall. This might be the third triple of the inning. Bernardino's throw comes in, and Houston is teeing off, leading 4-0.
And just a location mistake by Edwin Jackson right there. In a 3-2 count, that ball was supposed to be in. It was up and out over the plate. And Matt Downs put some kind of charge into that one. The target down and in, the pitch up and away. A little extension right there. And I can't remember the last time I've seen 3 triples in one inning.
Triple, single, single, triple, triple. And all of a sudden you look out to the bullpen and Jim Lett is standing next to the phone thinking it might be ringing. So he struck out the first batter, and it has been the South Capitol Street driving range ever since. Next up will be Jason Castro, 1 for 8 in the series.
A little 19-pitch first inning working right now. 58% fastball, 42% off speed. And I would say more than the ratio of the pitch count, it's been about location.
Well, the infield has to play in again. Castro on the season, 4 for 28, 2 RBIs. Target is in. And Jackson throws it right over the middle of the plate. I bet Jason Castro would like to have another look at that one.
And we've heard stories about Edwin Jackson in the past where he's given up some runs early in the game and the skipper will come up to him and ask him if he's good, and he'll say, you know what, I'm going to go out there and eat some innings up. And I guarantee you tonight he is going to bow his neck and find a way to make the adjustments and go deep into this game. And I think this is a reminder for all of us that it's not a video game. When they go out there every 5th day and it's, you know, 1 run in the 7th or 2 hits in the 8th. To remember that it is a big league. It's not a video game, and they've just been making it look pretty easy so far this season.
Oh-2 pitch. Tried to paint inside, missed. Jackson last pitched against Houston, just an inning of scoreless relief for St. Louis last September. Hasn't started against this ball club since 09 in Houston while with Detroit. Got a no decision, and he bounces one that Ramos blocks.
And the last time Edwin Jackson has lost a game as a starter was August 20th of last year.
Yeah. 4-0 with a 287 since.
And a long way to go in this one, but he is out there trying to find a way to get back into the dugout and let his offense do some work.
And of course tonight the Nats are facing one of Houston's 2 best pitchers. Saw Wandy Rodriguez 2 nights ago and Bud Norris tonight. And he's been known to be a fly ball pitcher in the past. So we could have some fireworks on both sides tonight. Got to get out of this one. Top of the first. And that's a drive to right. Here comes Worth. Can't get it. 5-0. 6 hits in a row. And now Davy Johnson may have no choice but to ring that phone.
And Wilson Ramos setting up down and away, and the ball was up and in once again. A nice pitch hitting by Jason Castro to get on top of that baseball and get himself an RBI. And watch where Wilson set up, and watch where the pitch ends up, and it's kind of been the story of the first inning. He set up down and away, it's up and in. And Castro does a nice job of pulling his hands in and getting the barrel on the baseball.
Still only one out as Tom Gorzolani is up. Eighth batter now is Marwin Gonzalez, the shortstop. Coming into this game, Houston has scored 5 runs in this series. They've doubled it here in 15 minutes. And that's inside, 1-1. How about Bud Norris on deck before he ever throws a pitch?
That 3 triples the Astros have hit this inning has tied a Houston record for most triples in a game.
Wow. Nothing cheap about them. They all banged off the wall on a fly. Close, and ball 2. That's on the corner.
And this is the count in the pitch that Edwin Jackson had so much success with last outing. Was that slider on the back knee of the left-handed hitter with 2 strikes. See if he goes there tonight.
And Jackson's been taking quite a while between pitches, and Marwin Gonzalez got time from Chris Conroy, the home plate umpire. Outfield around to the left. Gonzalez 1 for 3 in this series, 7 for 27 on the year. Target is inside corner, and a ball chopped foul. A shot of 2 pitchers in totally different places at the moment. And that's 3-2. With 1 out in the top of the first, pitch number 32 is coming. Runner holding, and a ball hit out to center. It'll hang up for Rick Ankiel. He'll grab it for the second out. And now the pitcher coming up.
They're just hanging around the cage today during batting practice. A very warm night, and I think this is the first combination of warm night, no wind that we've seen at the ballpark this year. So as we've seen in the first inning, the ball is traveling. It's a night made for offense. There's the wind blowing straight down.
Yeah, the only flags that are moving are the highest ones in the ballpark, up on top of the scoreboard, way up in right center. Just moving a bit out toward left field. And here's Bud Norris, a 155 career hitter. He gets jammed and pops it up. Danny Espinosa is there. Well, the last time I checked, the Nats still get 27 outs with their bats. 5 for Houston. it is a necessary thing in a ball game like this. Steve Lombardozzi, the 4-hit game on Monday night. Couple of RBIs, a walk, a run scored in this series. 6 for 12, all left-handed this year. See your authorized Dodge dealer. Experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Bud Norris, 2 starts against the Nats, both of them in this ballpark career. 1-1. Nats came from behind to win the other. ERA of 2.63. So we get to see a guy like this about once a year.
Yeah, last time out, he received a no decision in a 5-4 Astros loss. He allowed 4 runs on 6 hits in 6 innings. He struck out 2, walked 1 through 82 pitches. So the Nats will see a 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, slider change curve. The fastball 89 to 92.
Well, you can't score 5 runs in the first at bat, the second, the third, or the fourth. So time to get some hits and just find ways to get on base. Norris off the full windup, and he misses.
We talked about it in Ross Detweiler's last start against the Reds. Chip away, find a way, little by little, to get back in the game. And weren't they down 5-0 in that game and tied it up?
He did. All that controversy in the first inning with Cincinnati getting 4 on Sunday. Out to short for Marwin Gonzalez. On target, Lombardozzi got down the line very quickly.
Let's set the defense for the Astros tonight behind Bud Norris. Martinez, Schaefer, and Bogusevic in the outfield. Gonzalez and Downs on the left side. Altuve and Lee on the right side. And Jason Castro doing the catching. There's a lot of happy campers on defense right now with some 1-for-1s going.
Danny Espinosa in this series, 2 for 6 with a walk. He's 0 for 6 career against Bud Norris. Zimmerman, Worth, and Ramos have the hits against this right-hander, career matchups. Danny's had 42 at-bats this year with 9 hits. 36 of those ABs have come from the left side. He paints the outside corner, right where Jason Castro was set up.
We saw Bud Norris shake off a couple of off-speed pitches right there to get to the fastball. And I think as a pitcher with a 5-run lead, you're afforded the luxury of just pounding the strike zone. You don't need to trick anybody. Make them put the ball in play. The last thing you want to do is mess around with off-speed and throw balls and walk guys now and put runners on for free. Go right after them.
0-2 pitch and a fastball upstairs. Marlins won again today. They beat the Cubs at home 5-3, so they'll come to town tomorrow with some momentum. Atlanta's at Arizona tonight, and the Phillies have moved on to San Diego. Mets have this Thursday off with a record of 7-5. Danny had a good rip. 2 teams in baseball with 10 wins, the 10-3 Nats and the 10-2 Texas Rangers. So the Braves and Mets sitting at 7-5, and you add a win to the Marlins ledger today. Carlos Zambrano and Ross Detweiler tomorrow night. Strasburg and Anibal Sanchez on Saturday. That ball will be twisting out of play. And then Sunday, great matchup, Gio Gonzalez and Josh Johnson. We'll see some serious pitching in this weekend series coming up.
And Bud Norris early in this game's got a good heater going. I watched some video on his last outing. He was 89 to 92, and tonight so far 93 to 95. And he's got the reach back stuff when he needs it, but he's going to it very early in this game. Warm night, feeling good. 5-run lead will do that to you.
Yeah, 68 degrees and 5 runs. It feels mid-70s to him. Bud Norris, a career record of 21-24, 72nd big league appearance, 71st start. 6-11 in 31 starts last year, 9-10 the year before that. 2-2 to Espinosa, inside target, and Danny strikes out on a pitch diving down.
And that's the out pitch for Bud Norris, the slider at the back knee of lefties. And it's a tight little late slider, and that was a good one right there. So a bunch of fastballs away. Espinosa saw one off-speed pitch, and look at this slider. Little disappearing act.
Danny now 13 strikeouts and 43 ABs on the season. And here's Ryan Zimmerman, who's come alive in this series. 5 for 11, a walk, 2 RBIs. So that batting average sitting at 240, looking pretty good for now.
That's 240 heading north in a hurry.
Yep. The road still hitting 314 behind him. Worth at 347. Guys all over baseball wanting to break their pinky fingers. David Wright's hitting 500. As they enjoy a day off. It really affected him, didn't it?
If that was the case, I would have cut it off like Ronnie Lott did.
0-2 to Zimmerman. And a fastball just above the letters. Pretty good 0-2 pitch. He gets a slider, slaps it out to right center. Ball carrying and short of the track. Jordan Schaefer has it. Mr. Lincoln presiding over a beautiful Thursday night, but so far it's all the guys from Texas. Nothing. Rally cap. Nats will need that later. Let's check in on Austin Bibbins Dirks. Signed as a minor league free agent on January the 12th and getting the job done at Syracuse. Opponent's batting average, which FP always looks at, 200. 7 innings so far. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Isn't he in concert here on June 2nd?
No, that's Dirks Bentley.
Oh, all right.
We understand there's a baseball game before the concert that day.
There is.
Jordan Schaefer struck out swinging first time up.
I'm going to both.
You have no choice on half of that. Close to the corner and ball 2. 33 pitches, 24 strikes first inning for Edwin Jackson. And Jordan Schaefer didn't even get on base and they scored 5 runs.
You know, when you have a first inning like that and you're the leadoff guy and you make it out, everybody comes up to you in the dugout and says, who started this rally?
Not you.
Jordan Schaefer started that rally in the first.
Here's a 2-2. Target in. And a fastball right by Schaefer, who is now both of Jackson's strikeout victims.
And that might have been the best pitch of the night so far for Edwin Jackson. Pretty good movement on the two-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. And that hit a spot. And I think for Wilson Ramos right now, the little adjustment they're making as pitcher and catcher is he's just going to set up right down the middle. A lot of times when you have a guy whose stuff moves all over the place and you set up on a corner and they don't have their command, you'll see a catcher simplify it by just setting up down the middle and then letting the pitch work. And I think for Edwin Jackson the first inning, he was missing his spot, so now Wilson's setting up more right down the middle than on a corner.
And I like that fastball inside on the first pitch against a hitter who's had way too comfortable of swings in this series. Altuve presents a very small strike zone as they list him at 5-5. And that's inside again, and that's fine.
He's got a little Dustin Pedroia in him. He is not afraid to let it rip up there. Little guy that swings hard.
Jackson missing way outside, ball 3. J.D. Martinez got the hit to deep short that drove in Altuve after he singled. And the Astros were off and slugging in that first inning. Full count.
That might be the first fastball for a strike that Altuve has taken this whole series. He has been on the heat.
Jammed him, and that's one slammed off his leg.
And I think that's a shin burger. That got him way up high, maybe even on the knee. And if you've ever been kicked in the shins, multiply that by 10, and that's what he's feeling right now. Let's see where it got him. The Exmo shows everything. Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
that's a shin burger.
And then he'll just stand there and take strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Edwin Jackson.
A pretty good bounce back second working for Edwin. Little 3-2 slider right there, locked him up.
Yeah, obviously Altuve was looking for a fastball and just couldn't pull the trigger. So here's J.D. Martinez, who got his first hit of this series last inning. Danny Espinosa down to a knee to make sure it stays in front. And there's a good bounce back inning by the Nats pitcher. Now looking for some of that from the offense. some offense here early in the ball game. How about a lot of standing and clapping and foot stomping on June 2nd, 4:05 against the Braves. Dirk Bentley will be here, and Dirks will perform right after the Nats take on the Braves. Tickets start at $10. Nationals.com/concerts. First of 3 post-game concerts for the year. Adam LaRoche, Jason Worth, and Rick Ankiel, bottom of the 2nd. 14 pitches, 9 strikes for Bud Norris, first inning. Adam in this series 2 for 10, an RBI, 2 walks. That ball is ripped, and the Nats have their first base hit.
There goes a no-hitter.
Well, Norris has never pitched a complete game in the major league, so the odds of that were pretty good. Now it's time to string some hits together, pick up a run or 2 here and there.
It's the first box you got to check every day if you're an offense. Take care of the no-hitter. And Adam LaRoche does just that. Sharp single to right.
That'll add to his .314 batting average. In fact, LaRoche now hitting .327. So here's Jason Worth hitting .407 here at Nationals Park. 3 for 9, 2 walks and RBI in this series, and he's 2 for 11 in his career against Bud Norris, who throws a strike. Worth 8th in the league in hits, 7th in on-base percentage, with a sparkling .448. 8 walks have contributed to that. And that's inside 1-1.
If you go over the National League batting departmental leaders and you highlight Jason Worth's name, he's all over it. He's 10th in home batting average, .407. 8th in night batting average at .417. You want some more obscure stats?
Yeah, I like that night stuff. Now, is that before dark or after dark or just after 7 o'clock?
It's right around sunset. He's hitting .417, and then versus lefties, he's hitting .750. So he's all over the place, getting off to a hot start.
That was close enough on which to be swinging with a 1-2 count. Pretty good pitch by Bud Norris. Rick Ankiel eyeing the right-handed pitcher.
I mean, the way the Nats get back in this baseball game is get some runners on, obviously, but they're going to have to do it via the long ball when you're down by 5 runs. This ballpark playing very small tonight. A good chance of cashing in with a homer.
Way upstairs, 2-2. The Nationals have only hit 6 homers in their first 13 games. That's in the bottom 4 or 5 in the league. They're 9th in runs, 6th in batting average. So the one thing they've done, they've made the runs count, and they've been able to string enough hits together to score them at crucial times. Worth will foul tip that one back to the screen.
They've scored 49 runs this season coming in tonight, and they've allowed 32, so that's a +17 run differential. So while they haven't been scoring many runs, they haven't been giving up many runs. So that's why they're 10-3.
2 stingiest staffs in baseball, Washington and Texas, in terms of runs given up. Two to Worth, and he fills the count now. Nats have won 8 of their last 9 games. Runners in scoring position needs to be better. You need more than 4 runs a game. Isn't the big differential right around 4.5 runs a game? You score more than that, you almost always win.
They were 54-34 last year when scoring 4 runs or more.
Worth, they'll stay alive now. Only 3 hitters in the lineup tonight have hit a home run. Espinosa 1, LaRoche 2, Ramos 1.
A pretty good chance you're going to see a fastball from Bud Norris, throwing it 80% of the time almost.
And a 3-2 that Worth pops up to right field. Ryan Bogusevic. We're getting to that twilight part of the evening. And Rick Ankiel will step in. Ankiel 2 for 8 in the series. Probably a little darker, and it'll get tougher for the fielders.
That's a good matchup for Rick. He's a good fastball hitter. He likes a good straight fastball. And Bud Norris not afraid to challenge you.
That ball gets away, and second base is waiting for Adam LaRoche. Got to be a wild pitch. Bud Norris, 27 years of age, from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Houston took him in the 6th round of the 06 draft. Major league debut in 09 when he pitched 11 games, starting 10, with 6 and 3 that year. Ankiel looks at a pitch inside.
Castro catches that. It's a strike.
Yeah, I think you're right. Umpire has a hard time calling up drop ball strikes sometimes. Out of play, left side.
And that fastball from Norris so far in this game, a lot like Jordan Zimmerman's last night. It's got that giddy up late. You see guys in hitting counts are a little bit tardy on the heater. Jason Worth in a 3-2 count. Rick Ankiel right there 2-0. And late life on the fastball here early from Bud Norris.
Yep. That was a tardy swing, and the count's even 2-2.
Well, I watched that Phillies-Giants game last night when I got home, and what a game Cliff Lee had. But Matt Cain, every bit as good. And I've never seen a pitcher like Matt Cain throw 90-91 consistently in hitting counts by good hitters. All the Phillies late on his 91-mile-an-hour fastball all night last night. Bud Norris, very similar right here.
Ankiel just got a piece of it. In San Diego tonight, the Phillies will throw Vance Worley against Josh Weiland. Braves are throwing Mike Minor at Arizona. Joe Weiland, pardon me, tonight for San Diego. Ankiel breaks his bat. Foul ball. Carlos Lee. 2 outs. Here at Nationals Park, where the Nats are 6-1. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Ramos coming up. Houston on top 5-0 with a 6-run and 6 hits. Pardon me, 5-run, 6 hits in a row. First inning.
And Wilson Ramos with a big sac fly last night to put the Nationals ahead in the 8th inning. He said that's a pitch he should have probably hit out. He hit it good enough for a sac fly, but he said he just missed it.
Ramos left side, base hit. Here comes LaRoche. The throw from J.D. Martinez, cut off. Nobody covering first, and the Nats are on the board. A big 2-out RBI for Wilson Ramos, his 4th of the year.
Another clutch hit from Wilson Ramos, and how about Bo Porter down by 5 runs, sending Adam LaRoche? You gotta love it. Very aggressive at third. LaRoche with a good turn. Martinez's throw up the line, and for whatever reason, Carlos Lee, the first baseman, was standing between home and first. If he's where he's supposed to be, see him right there?
Yeah.
He should be standing at first base. Wilson Ramos with a big turn. Maybe had a chance to get Wilson in a little backdoor action.
Here's Bernardina now. Wilson Ramos, 3rd RBI of this series. We'd love to see Bernardina get on and give the pitcher a chance to bat here in the 2nd inning. I guarantee you there are 2 dugouts with different threads of thought right now.
Absolutely.
Third base side, they're wondering, do we have enough runs? And on the first base side, they're wondering, how are we going to stage our comeback tonight and win a ball game?
And Roger probably feeling good about himself after last night. That big double in the 7th inning to score Rick Ankiel. Clutch hit to tie this baseball game up.
Yeah, Bernardina part-time action this series. A hit, an RBI, and 2 walks. And he's not an easy guy to walk. So he's had some really good at-bats. 3-0.
And don't forget, Edwin Jackson can hit.
Yeah, he's a 183 career hitter. And a 3-1 coming. Good at bat by Roger Bernardina, who continues to have that good eye at the plate. So 3 runners in this inning.
And at the very least, to turn the lineup over. And the best case scenario is that Edwin Jackson for the Nationals keeps the line moving.
Jackson 1 for 6 this year. And as I mentioned, career hitting over 180 with a homer, 7 RBIs. And he took a 2 RBI cut right there. Ramos at second after his RBI hit, pushed to second on the walk to Roger Bernardina. Good eye. You can tell he's very aggressive at the plate. And so for Edwin, that was a good take. Showed bunt, got Matt Downs on the move from third base, ball 2.
Not a bad idea. Load the bases for Lombardozzi.
So Downs will come in and play even with the bag now. That's ball 3.
Boy, if you're Edwin Jackson right here, I watched Bo Porter. He did not put on the take sign in the 3-1 count. You have to absolutely keyhole Bud Norris. And what do I mean by that? You're looking for a center cut fastball, belt high, 1 pitch in 1 spot. Otherwise, take your walk.
Whew. He's had some good cuts in this AB.
I mean, that was right at the top of the strike zone. He almost got on top of this. Anytime you see a hitter follow ball straight back like that, he was all over it, just missed it.
Pitch track from Nissan. Runners will be on the move now. 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. And Jackson will continue the battle. That ball right down the middle, but up.
And these are good hacks. That does not look like a pitcher hitting. If you're Bud Norris, do you even think about throwing anything but a fastball here after he fouled 2 heaters straight back?
Right down the middle, and Edwin does it again.
This is getting good.
And by the way, 2 outs in the second inning. Bud Norris about to make his 45th pitch. And that's what the Nats are doing to a guy who's still a young pitcher, but a young veteran, you would call him, who has a 5-run lead after 1 inning, and now he's given up a run. Pitch count mounting. Three-two, and there's the breaking ball that locks him up. The Nats get a run on 2 hits and a walk, so the offense is alive. 5-1. Age. Houston Astros with 3 3-baggers, 6 consecutive hits in a 5-run first inning. Now the Nats are making Bud Norris pitch and work. Look at that, 1 pitch fewer than Jackson through 2.
Let's check out the triples in the first inning. It started with second baseman Jose Altuve. A little fastball away. He drove it over the head of Jason Worth and right. And that soft warning track this year has come into play a couple of times. And then it was Brian Bogasevic. A little triple off the wall. So that's your second triple. And Matt Downs with a little 3x3 off the wall in left center field. So the record for triples, the major league record, is 5 in an inning, done by the White Sox in 1901. The National League record is 4, done 7 times, last by the New York Giants in 1936. In both of those cases, I don't know if they had fences. And then the last time it was done, June 1st, the Blue Jays had 3 in the 5th inning against Cleveland last year.
I'd say there's a chance in 1901 the field wasn't fenced.
And they didn't have gloves. And it was probably a cow pasture.
And back then, and this is true, 5 balls might have been a walk, not 4. Here's Carlos Lee, who pulled the ball to left field, base hit first time. He was in pull mode there.
So the broadcasters back then had to say 4 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch.
Here's the 4-2 pitch. Maybe that's when the term payoff pitch came up, because they couldn't count. That's a lot of pitches for one AB.
I'd love to hit in a 4-1 count. I'll tell you what. I'm hitting 368.
Way inside, 2-2. Bogasevic on deck here, top of the 3rd. Matt Downs to follow. And Edwin at times all over the place tonight. In 2 innings tonight, he threw half the pitches he threw in a complete game last time. Nice touch pitch, threw it for a strike, and he gets his 4th strikeout. He's now retired 6 batters in a row.
A nice 3-2 slider right there to Carlos Lee. It's a good shot of the release point out in front, and he's thinking fastball, and he pulls the string. Nice pitch.
Brian Bogusevic, he had the big blow of the inning. The 2nd triple off the scoreboard that drove in 2 and made it a 3-run inning for Houston. On that play, the Nats had lead dead at the plate, but Wilson Ramos dropped a throw, a perfect relay from Danny Espinosa. He goes with the off-speed pitch and misses 1-1. Good fastball up.
You know, after Bud Norris facing 6 hitters in the 2nd, you talked about the pitch count being high. If Edwin Jackson could get his ball club in the dugout quickly right here and not give Bud Norris a chance to regroup or rest in the dugout, you would have to think the momentum's all Nationals.
Pretty good jam job there. Here comes Lombardozzi. Safe at first, called by Bill Welke. And Adam LaRoche can't believe it. Came off the bag, turned around, and stared down the umpire.
And by Welke's call, he's telling everybody that he flat out beat it. If an umpire calls safe and then does the whole he was off the base sign, you know that he pulled him. And you look right here, good throw from Lombardozzi, good stretch. Looked pretty close on that shot. Let's see right here. This will tell the story. Looks like he got it right. And that's in Exmo, not game speed.
1 on, 1 out, and Matt Downs is next.
The Exmo might be the most honest thing I've ever seen in my life. It does not lie. It tells the whole truth every single time, no matter which angle it's from. I love it.
Now, they can find a way to get the Exmo into the courtroom. The legal system would really be onto something. No balls and 1 strike and a foul by Matt Downs.
The coolest Exmo shot to me is still the sand trap shot in golf. When you see the club going behind the ball and every single grain of sand.
Yeah.
Love it.
Catcher Jason Castro next. They've out-hit Washington 7-2 in a 5-1 game. And upstairs went Downs, couldn't get it. Matt Downs with the Giants in 09 and 010. Houston for the 3rd year out of Alabama.
And Edwin Jackson has struck out 4 of the last 6 hitters he's faced.
He played at a school called Shelton State and then was a pitcher and an infielder at the University of Alabama playing some SEC baseball. Astros picked him up on waivers from the Giants. That ball bounced.
Yeah,
and LaRoche just picked it off like nothing. And a 1-2 pitch hit well to left. Bernardina just got back enough. That ball took off on him. 2 outs. Astros have had some good swings tonight. Sundays for the kids. Great pitching matchup. We told you about Gio and Josh Johnson. And how about the first 10,000 fans 12 and under? A Ryan Zimmerman kids jersey presented by Masson. Nationals.com/tickets. This Sunday, 1:35, first pitch. The Nats and the Fish. The Miami Marlins, first appearance here. And they might be in town already. Jason Castro, opposite field, pardon me, pulled it to right center first time. Just kind of flared one out there for an RBI. That was the final run batted in of that 5-run first. Heath Bell, by the way, got his second save of the year in that game for Miami today, 5-3 over the Cubs. Ricky Nolasco, 2-0. And the Marlins start playing some pretty good ball on their way to D.C. Runner at first, 2 outs. Top of the order due up for the Nats. This little sequence here over the next inning or two will decide whether or not Washington gets back in this game. How long can Edwin battle? Not a bad 0-2 fastball. Just showed it to him up and in. Long inning here though. 17 pitches already. The runner goes.
I like the fact that Brad Mills started Downs right there. Or Bogusevic, excuse me. I mean, you're up 5-1. You got a 4-run lead. You don't want to sit on it. You don't want to get stale. You play the game the way you're supposed to play the game. It's only the 3rd inning. And oftentimes you see teams get out to an early lead and they turn into station to station. Next thing you know, it's a close game.
Runner holding this time and way outside. Off speed, 2-2. Number 8 hitter Marwin Gonzalez waiting. Runner holds 2-2 and flied to center. Rick Ankiel under it. So Edwin Jackson, a bit of a battle in the 3rd, but a 0 on the board. Lombardozzi, Espinosa, and Zimmerman straight ahead. 5-1 game, so if he's in the lineup, somebody has to sit. Christina has our sideline report, afcia.org, the Association for IT Pros. And Christina, tonight, it's Ian Desmond.
It is Ian Desmond, and I had the chance to catch up with Ian before the game to ask him about getting a day off. He said, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to take it as a rejuvenation day, take a deep breath, clear my head, do things not as I normally would do them, you know, kind of take a day back and not be as active at BP. Sit back and watch and have some fun. He said, I'm looking forward to watching Lombardozzi go 4 for 5 again. And, you know, with Lombardozzi getting the start out there today, Davey Johnson talked about how with a great bench, you got to keep him sharp.
Well, there you go. Lombardozzi drops one into center field, and he's now 5 out of 7 in this series. And the Nats have their leadoff man on for the second consecutive inning.
And I think what Davey Johnson is doing with his starters is good. You can't wear guys out in April. You know, Ian Desmond got off to the fast start. He's hitting the ball well in this series, nothing to show for it. So when you're going to need guys in September to do big things for you, and sometimes they hit the wall if you run them into the ground, I like the fact that he's finding spots for Lombardozzi to get in there, keep his bat fresh, so when he asks him to start or maybe pinch hit late in the game, he's got some ammo to go up there to win a game for him, and you keep the rest of the guys fresh.
And you played for this man. Not always in his big league managerial career has he been a guy to play a lot of people. At times, he would stick with his veteran guys day after day.
I always like to say I sat next to Davey Johnson. I didn't play for him. But he was not a big bench guy back then. He went with his starters. He went with his horses that year in Los Angeles. There's a lot of pressure to win. But, you know, maybe later on he's realized that, you know, I can't ask bench guys to win me a game late if they haven't played in a week. Because you go up there and 85 looks like 105. So I like the fact that he's keeping Espinoza fresh and Desmond fresh.
Danny Espinoza rocks one to the wall in right field. Lombardozzi heading for third. Porter holds him. It'll be 2-on for Zimmerman. And Danny Espinoza is now 3 out of 8 in this series.
So maybe right there you're seeing the results of a day off. Danny Espinoza, he got a mental day off the other day. Steve Lombardozzi had the big day. All of a sudden you see the game from a different angle. Things slow down from you when you watch from the bench on occasion. And the at-bats have been good. And I've liked Danny's at-bats all season long. His average isn't where he wants it. It's climbing as we speak. But his approach, his calmness, his patience, the big walk to start the rally last night. And he's had some quality at-bats here early in the season.
That's Danny's first extra base hit since the homer in Chicago. 2 RBIs sitting out there for Ryan Zimmerman. LaRoche and Worth coming up. And Zimmerman goes deep left field. See you later. This is a 5-4 game. Not a bad time for your first of the year.
And we've been talking about the ballpark playing small tonight, and the Nats getting back into this game with the home run. And there you see it. Game on, 5-4. And that ball was absolutely roasted.
And oh, by the way, nobody out here in the third inning. Ryan Zimmerman, RBIs number 5, 6, and 7. And this is a brand new ball game. Here's LaRoche, and he has a base hit tonight.
I'm telling you what, as a ball club, when you get that feeling that you're not out of any game, you believe it. And we've seen it all season long. They were down 5-0 against the Reds in Ross Detweiler's last start. They tied that ball game up, and they're on their way right here.
Home run number 129 for Ryan Zimmerman.
Just a short, compact swing, barreled the baseball. And I was talking to some of my friends back in California last night, and they were talking about our offense. I said, Zimmerman is heating up, and he can carry this team for months at a time.
Well, he's now 7 of 13 in this series with a homer and 5 RBIs. And anytime you bang one off the back wall of the bullpen, that's easily 400 feet out there. Only Washington's 7th home run of the year. But with 2 men on base, how sweet was that?
I mean, there's certain nights as a baseball player, you got to come in that dugout and say, if you want to slug, let's slug.
That's a 4-pitch walk to Adam LaRoche. And his on-base average starting the night at 407 is on the rise with a single and a base on balls. Second walk issued by Bud Norris. And now Jason Worth steps up with the tying run on base. Well, home runs are not the norm. Singles and doubles are, but nothing energizes a ballpark like a hometown player hitting one out of here. Nats have had a power shortage this year, but not now. And a big breaking ball to Worth, who thought he was getting first pitch heater after a walk.
And sometimes you got to do that as a hitter. You just gamble, bet heater, and the best thing you can do is swing through it, not put it in play when you get fooled.
Then he gets another slide piece away, 0-2. Rick Ankiel waiting here in the third. A very quick at bat, nothing but away. That's strikeout number 3 for Bud Norris. Let's go inside the numbers with PNC. And this goes back to 2010, so we're talking about 300 innings here. And strikeouts per 9 innings pitched, leaders. PNC for the achiever in you. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals at PNC Bank. Bud Norris on that list, 3 Ks tonight. Ankiel fouled out to first on a shattered bat. First time up.
We call that trap setting. You break your bat on an inside fastball your first time up, you look in there, cheat in there, and get the barrel out and do some damage your next time up.
He gets one for a strike there. And Rick had a good rip.
Pitch number 60 coming up for Bud Norris.
Could it be possible the Astros would be in their bullpen before the Nats are on such a night? Could happen. Ankiel, that's well placed. LaRoche stops at second base, and the Nationals are collecting hits now. 4 in the inning, around a walk, and the tying runs at second base. That's Rick Ankiel's 3rd hit in this series.
Yeah, fastball in. He jammed him the last time up. This time he gets the barrel to the baseball, squares the ball up, a hard ground ball to right field, and Wilson Ramos with a chance to drive in a run. I should say another run. RBI single his first time up.
That's right. He is 3 for 7 career against Bud Norris with that hit. And Ramos on the first pitch will pop it up. Short center, Jordan Schaefer. That's the second out with Bernardina coming up. Here's our television schedule. After tonight, 3 more games in the homestand. DC 50 joins us for that great pitching matchup. Then it's on to San Diego after an off day Monday. I talked to the former Padre pitcher and TV analyst Mark Grant today, and he said San Diego is simply not hitting. Very little offense for the Padres.
And you should have asked him what the weather's like.
Do you think I needed to ask that? Come on. Padres, by the way, are 3-10. Then it's on to LA.
Do we have to go to San Diego?
Come on. We'll drag you kicking and screaming. And how about some national headlines next week? Early season showdown, Washington, Los Angeles. I like it.
Matt Kemp hitting his 7th home run of the year today.
Our pitchers against him will be an interesting matchup throughout that 3-game weekend series, starting a week from tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. 1-1 to Bernardino. LaRoche is the tying run, second base. Anquio the lead run, first base. 2 outs here in the 3rd. Roger had a great at bat first time, drew a walk that got the lineup down to Edwin Jackson in the 2nd inning. And right now, when in trouble, Norris is going to the off-speed stuff to get some strikes.
And it must be hard to pick up that slider, because Roger Bernardino right there thought that was a fastball all the way until he finished his swing. He tried to hold up. Sometimes guys have sliders that spin so fast it's hard to pick up the rotation. You think it's a fastball.
1-2 now. Target in. He missed his target up and away and got the strikeout. Ryan Zimmerman's first homer of the year. It was a no-doubter to the bullpen. He plates 3 and on to the middle innings now. New ball game. 5-4. Some military families today, and that family in particular, FP, had a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, just a great afternoon. I went to speak at Our Military Kids. It's a charity that helps out the kids when their parents are overseas or deployed, and they pick the top 5 kids in the country to come to this thing. Now, there was brigadier generals there. There was vice admirals from the Navy there. All the bigwigs were at this celebration, and these kids had a little talent show to where they did their thing. And so after the first 4 or 5 kids come up there, you see those 2 kids right there. They're in Taekwondo. They had their yellow belts on, and they had the pieces of wood that they were going to break. Well, somebody went up there and helped them with the wood to hold it that they were going to break with their karate kicks. And they said, well, we need another volunteer from the audience. And their father, who you just saw right there, U.S. Navy Reserve Petty Officer First Class Christopher Karnbach, came around the corner. They thought he was still deployed, and I'll tell you what, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. His wife started crying, the kids started crying, and they surprised the kids. And I'll tell you what, partner, that is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. So they are guests of ours tonight. We invited them to the baseball game. We left them 6 tickets, and I hope they're enjoying what they've seen. A lot of action in 3 innings.
What a gift. They got their daddy back today.
Very, very cool.
Bunt laid down. Gonzalez. Well played by Ramos. Wilson, that big cat, comes pouncing out there. And now Edwin Jackson has retired 9 of the last 10 Astros.
We still yell from the dugout right here, like a cat. Wilson Ramos all over that bunt attempt. We saw Jordan Schaefer lay down a beauty last night. That one probably a little too close to the catcher. Wanted that more down the third baseline. Nice play by Ramos.
Here's the pitcher, Bud Norris. And Jackson a golden opportunity here in the fourth to retire 8 and 9 before he heads back up to the top of the order. In a 5-4 game that was 5-0 before the Nationals ever picked up a bat.
Yeah, give Jackson some credit for keeping his team in the baseball game after a 5-run first. And I think if you pitch in the American League long enough, you're used to games like this.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Norris popped up to Espinosa first time.
Getting back to my story about Christopher Carnbuck, the coolest thing he did is while he was deployed, he bought his family tickets for opening day, and that was his son's 9th birthday present.
Nice.
Tickets to the home opener. So my nomination for Dad of the Year.
Well, FP, nice job of getting them tickets, having the idea of getting them to the ballpark. We love to give back and honor them whenever we can, but there's nothing we can do that comes close to what they've done for us.
Absolutely. Well said.
That ball flared right field way. Jason Worth is over to grab it on the run. 2 outs. Top of the order. Jordan Schaefer coming up. We have an AT&T fact of the game for you.
What do we got?
Steve McCaddy. Sweep an opponent. The Nats are trying to do for the first time since being here in Washington, D.C. The last franchise 4-game sweep at home was the Expos over the Phillies back in 03. The Nats have had 4-game sweeps since they came here in 05, but they've been on the road. 09 at Atlanta, 11 at the Mets, and 11 last September at the Phillies. In fact, with about 5 days in between, those Mets and Phillies sweeps were almost back to back. So uncharted waters. We just didn't know it was going to be 5-0 before the boys got an AB.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign that every single day we're talking about history and franchise stuff and first time since 1981 this.
Today in history. I like it.
And that's a good thing.
Jackson stands Schaefer straight up with a high tight fastball. He has struck out Jordan Schaefer twice. Ground ball, Espinosa. Jackson has turned his night around and his team's night around. He's retired 11 of the last 12. He'll lead off. Christina, we always know where she is.
Thank you, Bob. With Edwin Jackson starting for the Nationals tonight, pitching coach Steve McCatty talked earlier about what the challenges would be for Edwin having pitched a complete game in his last outing. And he said, you know, it's really going to be the expectations of others. Do not put those expectations on yourself. Only do what you are capable of doing, because when you start listening to everyone and feeling that pressure, then you say, hey, I'm going to go out there and pitch a complete game every single time. He said as long as he goes out and focuses on the next pitch, getting the next guy out, then he should be good to go and get into a flow. But you wonder, you know, just what Edwin coming out in the first inning, if he was feeling a little bit of that.
Well, I guarantee you this, in the first inning, he never thought he'd have 2 at-bats tonight. Did a nice job of settling down and keeping his team in the baseball game.
Yeah, how about that? Just got a note that on Saturday, Tony La Russa will be here to make the official presentation of Edwin's World Series ring to him. We all know he already has it, but there's a little official presenting that goes on with that. And the retired manager of the world champions will be here.
Well, that'd be cool to see Tony. Say hi. See how he's coping with life after baseball.
Ask him what his next job is going to be. Look at this. Marwin Gonzalez won't even throw it. Edwin Jackson has a base hit. Trying to turn this game around in more ways than one. And suddenly the hits are even at 7.
Yeah, check him out getting down the line. He did a little turn out here thinking that ball was through, and then he had to straighten up, go through the base. Edwin Jackson doing his best impression of a leadoff hitter, starting out the 4th here with a knock.
That's his 20th hit in 100 major league at-bats. So even guys like us know he's hitting 200 now.
I think that's a good average.
Top of the order. Lombardozzi, base hit up the middle. It got the rally started in the 3rd. And the Astros think that Lombardozzi could be laying down a bunt here for a hit. Matt Downs is playing like the pitcher's batting, and Lombardozzi's on first base.
4th inning. I think he'd go ahead and swing away. You never know. He might do it with 1 strike here, but I mean, this just has one of those feels. It's got an American League slugging fest feel to it. The 4th inning, just let it rip.
Well, I guess we were due for a game like this. All these 2-1, 1-0 games.
Oh, that hit him. Did that hit him and he squared around, or did he foul it off? I couldn't tell.
It sounded like wood to me, but his reaction was almost like, ouch.
Expo doesn't lie.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Sometimes it's hard to tell up here from 5,000 feet.
We have our own AWACS up here. Up and away, ball 1.
And we thought it was funny last year when my buddy, the F-16 pilot, was sitting next to us during the game, and even he thought we were high up.
Yeah. Drones have nothing on us. We see everything. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Steve out ahead of it, but he'll get contact and he'll stay alive.
I'm not guaranteed to put the ball in play every time with 2 strikes, but I just love his approach. I mean, he takes a little bit out of his swing. He spreads out, chokes up, kind of old school style. Back when, you know, if you struck out, you walked back to the dugout and felt bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen so much in today's game. Strikeout's not a big deal, but I love the fact that Lombardozzi does whatever he can to put a ball in play with 2 strikes.
Well, they jammed him, and he pops it up left side for Matt Downs. It's a foul ball when it's caught for the first out. You can pick 4 games, get a 5th one free starting at just $60. We call it our 5-game flex plan. It'll ignite your natitude. All you have to do is log on to nationals.com/flex for ticket information. All right, here comes some guys who really contributed to that big inning in the 3rd. Espinoza really opened the floodgate with a double. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. All the pressure was on Bud Norris, and Ryan Zimmerman hitting one a mile to make it 5-4.
Remember early in the game we had Bud Norris at fastball percentage 79. It looks like he's gone more to the off speed here, third time around the order.
And he's at 74 pitches with 1 out in the 4th after getting a 5-run gift in the top of the 1st. Another hit for Danny Espinosa. So Danny's 2 for 3. He's 4 for 9 in the series. And look out, Houston may have a problem. Zimmerman bats with 2 on again.
And how about Ryan Zimmerman checking in with his first home run of the year? Probably should be his 4th home run. Hit a couple in the teeth of the wind in Chicago. One got knocked down here at home early. That's the first official home run, and it was a bomb.
Tying run at second base. First pitch slider for a strike.
Yeah, that ball looked down to me.
Nissan Pitch Track will tell the tale.
Pretty good slider from Norris. Good bite.
Yeah. Nissan Sale a Minute event going on. Save on your new Nissan. Nissan.com or your local dealer. That's a fastball right in there. And now you get the hitter to guessing a bit. With Jackson at second, tying run. Espinosa at first, the lead run here in the 4th.
And I guarantee you, if you run down there, or could run down there and ask Ryan right now, that after that first pitch slider and hitting a home run on a fastball, he thought, there's no way I'm seeing a fastball again. And Bud Norris snuck one in there.
Zimmerman lined out hard to center first time up. And that's a breaking ball that just totally locked him up. That's what happened when you get a guy 0-2. Strikeout number 5.
And that might be the best sequence that Bud Norris has had all night long. And it came on a guy that hit a home run off him. First pitch slider on the black, strike 1. Then he's thinking, well, there's no way he's looking for a fastball again. He sneaks one on the outer half for strike 2. And then as a hitter, once a pitcher shows you they'll throw the slider for a strike, you have to respect it with 2 strikes, and he threw it for a ball. It was a nice job.
Adam LaRoche with a base hit, a run scored, and a walk. That's outside. Adam LaRoche, 2 for 4 career against Bud Norris. Hitter in the crowd not liking that call. He is really mixing up that hard slider now.
He just did the same thing to Adam LaRoche that he did to Ryan Zimmerman. He threw the slider for a strike and then threw it for a ball. And as a hitter, you see the rotation, you see the location, you think it's going to be the same exact pitch in the same exact spot, and it just disappears. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back in there one more time.
That's a busted bat. It's up the middle. There is a play at first. And the Nats are gone. That was the shortstop, Marwin Gonzalez, way up there. Nats have now stranded 6. Nats have battled almost all the way back. 5 innings to go here. Can they make it and get the lead? We shall see. Every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this year will mean $37 to the National Institute of Health. Receiving medical treatment, the kids there, and helping their family as well. So the Washington area Toyota dealers helping our community and helping some very special kids and their families at NIH.
And how about Edwin Jackson tonight? He's got a few Ks. Living on 33 K Street. Little slider right there. And another one to Carlos Lee.
4 Ks on the night. Hasn't walked a batter. He's retired 11 of the last 12. 2, 3, 4, Altuve, Martinez, and Lee in the Houston 5th. First pitch slider high in the zone. I think the Nats have found out this guy can hit a fastball.
I was just thinking the same thing. If I was pitching to Jose Altuve, I would show him a fastball for a ball, but he would get nothing but off speed until he showed me that he could hit that as well as the fastball.
Well, and we mentioned at 5'5", he presents a very small strike zone. So you throw a fastball for a strike to this guy, it's pretty much in his wheelhouse. And he's got some power. 2 homers for Houston last year after he got called up. That's on the inside corner, as that was soft again. Not that we're talking about this guy for home runs, but he's been plugging gaps and hitting line drives all over this yard for 4 days. Got their rally started back in the first. And there's another breaking ball. Ramos blocks it, and a simple throw to LaRoche for the out. Strikeout number 5.
And that was 4 off-speed pitches. A guy that's shown he can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 95-mile-an-hour fastball this whole series.
Good tumbling action there.
Nice job, Wilson Ramos, Edwin Jackson being on the same page. You see all the pitches right there, all of them off speed. A couple of sliders and a curveball right there with 2.
Next up, J.D. Martinez. Breaking ball for a strike, outside corner. Astros have gotten a taste of the National League East on this trip. They're 2-7 against the East this year. The Nats are 8-2 against the Central. And Houston finally heading back home, while the Nats will entertain the Marlins and play their second team from this division after 2 out of 3 at the Mets. Right back to the pitcher. That one was right in his eyeballs when he picked it off. 2 outs. Good reaction.
Long way to go in this game, partner, but getting back to your point about playing the Central and doing well against them, for me, tomorrow night is power check time.
Yeah.
Marlins coming into town, they're playing well, you're playing in your division, and if you're going to be successful in your division, you got to beat your opponents early in the season, and I think tomorrow night is power check. Bring it on.
And we're going to be the last guys to minimize what the Nationals have done. Don't mean that at all. But they haven't played the Phillies, the Braves, or the Marlins yet. Down the road somewhere will be the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Dodgers, and then, of course, Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, Blue Jays. If the Nats have a big season against the interleague schedule that they have on tap this year, as well as the regular National League array of talent, this will really be something. And with this pitching staff, they probably feel they can play with or beat anybody.
But all those teams you mentioned, or most of those teams you mentioned, have good bullpens. And if the Nationals are going to win, they can't wait till the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning to turn it on against some of the better bullpens in the league. There's going to be a time during the season, and hopefully for Davey Johnson and the Nationals, it's sooner rather than later, they're going to have to get to some starting pitching. Because if you're playing a good team, or an upper tier team, I should say, they have good bullpens, and they're not going to give it up.
Great jammage right there. How about Edwin Jackson? 14 of the last 15. doing his job now, and the other starters appreciate it. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your local DC area Land Rover Center. What a night. 68 degrees at game time. Some fireworks down here. 15 hits, 9 runs. Nats down by a run. We go bottom 5 with Worth, Ankiel, and Ramos. Take the Nats with you everywhere you go this season. You can get all of your out-of-market games, HD quality on your favorite device. Nationals.com to order and get more details on MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. I'd like to wish a get well tonight to a friend of ours up in suburban Maryland. His name is Ed Walls, father of my good buddy John Walls, and he's been ailing lately, waging a tough health battle. We want Ed to know we're thinking about him tonight, and hopefully Jason Worth and the guys will have a comeback win for Ed and all of our great Nats fans tonight. So our very best to Ed Walls. Jason tonight 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a strikeout. I'll tell you, Bud Norris has been throwing some great pitches to Jason Worth. Struck him out on 3 hard breaking balls away last time up. He goes fastball. And this looks like the same pitching pattern that Zimmerman might have seen last inning.
Slider away, fastball for strike 2, and if he stays with it, this should be a slider way outside.
There it is. Jason able to stop his bat. Bill Welke agrees. Bud Norris sticking around here. He's at 85 pitches with nobody out in the 5th. Ankiel and Ramos to follow. That's a great take. 2-2. And Worth looking for his first home run of the year. Big gap in left center. That's high and tight, ball 3.
And it looked like Bud Norris wanted that call, but it looked up and into me. And maybe he was just upset with himself that he missed a spot.
Payoff pitch with nobody out. Worth is going to be called out. He thought it was ball 4. And Chris Conroy calls it at the knees, outside edge. Strikeout number 6 for Norris.
The exact same pitch that Jason Worth drew a 3-2 walk on last night that we said might have been a strike, might have been a ball. He got the benefit of the doubt last night, not so much tonight.
Next up is Rick Ankiel, who singled to the right side. His second time up after fouling out in the second. Bouncing ball over that way. Altuve waiting for it. 2 down. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Ramos 1 for 2 RBI single.
And maybe give Bud Norris a little credit, a lot like Edwin Jackson after a rocky third inning. He's really settled down. And it looked like he was on the ropes. And he's mixed up his pitches very nicely. Sliders and fastballs.
Roger Bernardina if the inning continues. Ramos waiting for that one. Hits it hard to right center. Run down by Jordan Schaefer, whose speed has been a factor in this series. On to the 6th inning now. It remains 5-4. Nine pitches. What a battle he waged after that first inning. Retired 14 of the last 15 he faced.
And we always talk about anybody go out there with your good stuff. What do you do on the nights when you don't have your good stuff? And I think for Edwin Jackson tonight, very satisfying that he stuck with it. After the first inning, pitched 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, struck out 4, and a total of 4 balls left the infield. So, you know, while maybe a younger guy after a 5-run first would shut it down, maybe cave in a little bit, Edwin Jackson, being the veteran guy that he is, made the adjustments and battled through a tough start. I like what Edwin Jackson did tonight. Shows you a lot about the man.
And this does not go down as a quality start by any means, but the game's in the 6th inning, and he's given his team a chance to win. And they got him some runs to bail him out as well. Looks like the Nats have a double switch. So in left field, batting ninth will be Xavier Nady. And that takes Rick Ankiel out of the game as Roger Bernardina has moved over to center. So he'll be leading off in the 6th with Nady behind him. Tom Gorzolani sporting that 0 ERA. 3 games, 5 innings, just 3 hits. He's had a few control issues with 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, but nobody really hitting him. Opponent's batting average a .158.
There's that average you're talking about. And check out the lefty average, and that's what he does best. Fastball, slider, curveball, change. And the slider to the lefties this year has been fantastic.
That one dumped into left field in front of Xavier Nady off the bat of Brian Bogusevic, and he's having a 3-for-3 night. Big blow, the 2-run triple in the first. Next up, Matt Downs. He's had 2 good at bats. Triple to left center, line out to left. Astros box score. Everything but 2 singles by Bogusevic in the first inning. Triple, single, single, triple, triple, single. And just like that, 5 runs against Edwin Jackson, who gathered himself and pitched 4 2/3 really well right after that. Astros came in 10th in the league in batting average, 11th in runs. So one of their biggest explosions of the year. Now they're fighting to keep their lead. Bogusevic, good speed at first. And a ground ball. They'll have to hurry. Lombardozzi, Espinosa, and Bogusevic all over him. Matt Downs was well toward the first base bag. No chance to double.
No, as an infielder, you know whether it's a double play or not by the speed of the baseball off the bat. And I think Steve Lombardozzi and Danny Espinosa knew this wasn't a double play. Although Danny will hang in there with the best of them and try to turn him with that big arm of his. And no chance on that one.
1 on, 1 out. Jason Castro, the catcher. Gorzolani, a funny landing on that one. We're used to being in about the 7th or the 8th inning.
Or home.
Or home. After a low-scoring game, but not tonight. 9 o'clock hour here. 5-4. 16 hits in the game. 5-8-0 Astros. 4-8-0 Nets. Trying to get Edwin Jackson off the hook here tonight. And Gorzolani gets a front door breaking ball on the corner. The count's even 1-1. Nissan pitch track.
Let's check out that slider right here. Pretty good pitch, pretty good spot. You know, and I've been a part of teams that score 5 or 6 runs in the first inning, and if you don't add on and you're that team, you start to get the feeling in the dugout that you're losing momentum, and the Astros are trying to add on to that lead, but haven't been able because Edwin Jackson's settling down. But my point is, you start to get fidgety in the dugout when you score 5 in the first, and that's all you score.
That's a great opposite field swing by the young catcher Jason Castro. So 2 on, 1 out. Marwin Gonzalez is the hitter. Bud Norris comes out on deck. No activity in the Houston bullpen. Well, should I say, no throwing. A lot of guys are moving around out there, but nobody warming up. Gonzalez 0 for 2, tried to bunt his way aboard last time. He won't be bunting with the pitcher on deck unless somebody really gets caught playing deep, and that's way outside. Marwin Gonzalez, one of 2 guys who've gone the Rule 5 route on the ball club, even though the Astros got him from Boston in a trade. But he was a Boston Rule 5 guy off the roster of the Cubs, who drafted him at the age of 16. Reiner Cruz is in their bullpen a Rule 5 guy, and Rule 5 says that if a player is unprotected on the 40-man roster, you can pick him from another ball club out of their minor league system. But if you do, he has to remain on the major league roster the entire season.
I think you pay $50,000 to retain the rights for a player, and if he's not on your big league roster, you send him back.
Yep, back to sender. Not to your minor leagues, but you have to at least offer him back to the other ball club. Now, that doesn't mean they have to take him either.
Right.
He could end up at your AAA or your AA, but you have to offer him back to the originating ball club.
I'm glad you explained it, because on the way home last night, my daughter asked me, Dad, what's a Rule 5? And it took me the whole way home to tell her what it was. And I think she was more confused when we got off the phone than she was when we got on.
I have a baseball administrator in the family who's been teaching me things for 45 years. Good to have an older sister who knows what she's doing.
Absolutely.
2 balls and a strike to Marwin Gonzalez. So many rules. There's what they call the blue book that those ladies in those front offices really have to know. Harlan Cardozo is our version of that baseball administration job holder here in D.C.
They know more about that stuff than the players do.
Well, and general managers go to their baseball administrators or administrative assistants to say, can I do this? What can we do with this guy? What do we do about this transaction? And they've got to know that, because everything has to be filed with the league office. Everything. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waivers, Rule 5, you name it. Options. Well, now this becomes a big pitch in the ball game, doesn't it? 2 on, 1 out, in a 1-run game and a payoff. Gorzolani to Gonzalez. Bouncer left side. Zimmerman off his glove. And for a moment I thought Dave Clark might send the runner from third, but Zimmerman kept it close enough, and the bases are loaded. Tough play to his left.
Is Brad Mills going to let Bud Norris hit?
He is. Is this an indictment of the Houston bullpen?
I guess early in the baseball game, he's trying to get the most out of his starter, but I feel like right here he's doing Davey Johnson, the Nationals, a big favor in this situation, letting his pitcher hit. And you have a chance to put this game on ice.
Nationals have to be careful of a suicide squeeze bunt here, or even a safety squeeze. So Zimmerman, even with the bag, he's going to follow the runner to a certain extent down that third base line. That's what you do with a safety squeeze. If you think it might be on, you follow the runner down, and if they bunt it to you, you're even with him and you can throw him out at home.
When the base is loaded, you just run either way and try to beat the force at home.
Now Gorzolani falls behind Norris, who has 7 career RBIs. And look at this. He'll drop one into left center. That'll score 2 runs, and the Astros lead 7-4. Brad Mills with a non-move. Looks like a bottom of the order genius right here.
Well, I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, right there you're thinking, what if this guy hits a ground ball and the inning's over? But Brad Mills obviously knows his players way better than we do up here. And Bud Norris with a big hit in this game. You talk about helping yourself out. Wow.
Tom Gorzolani gives up runs for the first time this year. He's only retired 1 batter here. 4 hits. And the last 3 in a row. Now the top of the order, Jordan Schaefer, who was 0 for 3 against Edwin Jackson. Fastball outside corner, a strike.
I mean, how many times in that situation have you seen a pitcher hit a ground ball for a double play to where even a strikeout's better than that?
Yeah.
But Bud Norris does a nice job of coming through.
Well, now the Nats have to battle from at least 3 down again. Now the big hit to me in this inning was Castro. You have 1 on, 1 out after the force play. You're getting down toward the bottom of the order. Suddenly, Jason Castro takes one to left field, and the complexion of the whole inning changes. 11 Houston hits tonight. And they're bunching them together. 6 in the first, 4 here. So other than the first and the 6th innings, 1 base hit. Jose Altuve next. That ball into left center. That is not catchable. Here comes another run. It's 8-4. Well, pardon me, going to hold the runner at third. I thought that was a for sure run. What happened over there with Marwin Gonzalez? Got a score on that, doesn't he?
Well, he had to see the ball drop first, and he didn't give Clark a chance to wave him. And as a base runner at second base, when you see Roger Bernardino going for a line drive, you got to wait. You see him hold up right there, and that was just enough. But with Bernardino going away from the play in a 3-run lead, you had a chance to send him.
Well, and I shall say, we have a much better view of such hits up here than the third base coach does down there at field level. We knew right away it was going to drop in. So there's nobody throwing in the Nationals bullpen. Gorzolani's given up 5 hits. And the bases are loaded. Still only 1 out with Altuve and Martinez coming up.
11 runs and 20 hits.
One of the few times, maybe the only time this year, where Davey Johnson is really managing from way behind and trying to get some outs to not tax the bullpen. Matthews and Rodriguez pitched last night. Clippard and Lidge the night before. So it's not like they're worn out. Altuve hits this ball a long way to left center. And that's going to one-hop the wall. 2 runs have scored. Clark will hold the third runner. And now it's 9-4. And this looks like Groundhog Day. The 6th inning looks just like the top of the first.
You talk about a little guy swinging hard and liking the fastball. Last time up, he didn't see a fastball. This time, he sees a fastball in the inner half, and I thought Roger Bernardino had a beat on that baseball, and he pulled up short, and that ball didn't hit the fence. But once again, how about Jose Altuve and his pop for a little guy?
6 total bases tonight. He has 10 total bases on his hits in this series. Now the infield's in, still only 1 out, and J.D. Martinez the hitter. We've got fielders standing pretty close to 2 big, strong right-handed batters, with Martinez followed by Carlos Lee if it goes that far. And they are just teeing off. They are just digging in on Tom Gorzolani.
I've been some kind of impressed with Jose Altuve this whole series. When you hit a ball over Roger Bernardino's head, you're doing something. You hit a ball over Jason Worth's head his first time up.
Yeah. Then he had a double the other night. That ball was jacked to left center. 2-1. So the Nats had battled back to 5-4. Now Houston explodes for 4 more. Tough to beat a team 4 days in a row, isn't it?
It is tough to sweep a 4-game series.
Ball 3. Carlos Lee in the on-deck circle knows he's going to face a left-hander no matter what happens here. With Gorzolani struggling and Burnett warming up. Another 6-hit inning. These are very comfortable, hard swings right now.
Well, I said it the first inning. I'll say it again right here. This game isn't over.
Yeah.
This ballpark is playing very, very small tonight, and there's a lot of baseball left to be played.
Swinging a ground ball, and Gorzolani boots it. Play at first, makes that, but he was going to come home and probably have a pretty simple play on Schaefer. So now it's 10-4. It'll be an RBI for Martinez.
With Schaefer going contact play all the way right here. And Gorzolani just whiffs on the comeback. A lot of times as a pitcher, you think it's hit harder than it really is, and I think he got a changeup right here. You see it off the end of the bat. He thought that ball was hit harder and missed it. And it cost him and the Nationals a run.
Ninth man to bat, Carlos Lee. 1 for 3. First inning base hit, run scored. In this series, Lee 2 for 15 with 2 singles. Lombardozzi to his left from behind the bag. Good scramble for that one. And the Astros have another big inning. 5 in the first and 5 more in the 6th. And then, oh, pardon me, that'll be Xavier Nady on the double switch, and then Steve Lombardozzi. Dierks Bentley.
There he is.
Nice outfit. He'll be wearing that on June 2nd. Nats take on the Braves at 4:05. Tickets start at $10. Drop by nationals.com/concert. First of 3 post-game concerts for the year. Dierks Bentley.
So you know what he's going to wear on June 2nd? You guys are tight.
I'm seeing it twice a night. We are having fun with this one, boys. All right, here we go. Bottom 6. Boy, if anybody doesn't know Dierks is coming on June 2nd, they have been out of the hemisphere.
We're going to be grounded. Double secret probation for having too much fun with that promo.
Bernardino 0 for 1 with a walk tonight, and here's Bud Norris. Brad Mills is going to let him go right up over 100 pitches here in a moment. Nats have had him on the ropes a couple of times after they got the game to 5-4. They stranded 2 runners in the 3rd and the 4th. Race to the bag, safe! Bernardino steals the hit. And there's no signal from Bill Welke that Norris missed the bag. I think he's just saying Bernardino got there. Brad Mills will argue.
I think the Nats caught a break. Good hustle by Roger Bernardina. You need base runners when you're down by 6 in the 6th. And we'll check out the replay again here shortly, but I thought they might have got him.
You know, and managers in the situation, FP, they're reading the reactions of their guys as much as anything.
Let's see if the foot hits here. Oh, Nats catch a huge break. That's not even close.
That looks a lot like the play Sunday that went against the Nationals in the first inning, with Scott Rowland getting to the bag when Cincinnati scored 4 runs. Brad Mills, we feel your pain.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do here if you're Brad Mills, you got your starting pitcher out there. He's in a pretty good groove. If you argue too long, you could throw him off. And if you're Bud Norris right now, you have to do a big-time regroup mentally, because this call obviously didn't go your way. Good hustle by Bernardino getting down the line. And that just might have been a case of Dave Rackley thinking, this guy's fast and he's going to beat it, anticipating the call. And how do you miss that when you're looking right at the bag? Nats will take it. Bernardino will take it.
Huge break. Down by 6. They need a whole lot more. And here's Xavier Nady, first at bat tonight. Xavier Nady started Monday, went 1 for 4. Tuesday, 0 for 3. And he takes a big cut. No balls, 2 strikes. Contact needed here, 0-2. Contact accomplished. Good swing. Jordan Schaefer comes to get it. A chance for a makeup call, but he's safe.
That can't be that close down by 6 runs.
True. Yeah, you're talking about Roger on a ball that was going to be caught. I tell you, Jordan Schaefer, he can play some center field. He has 2 outfield assists already this year.
And I thought Roger Bernardino was kind of wandering a little bit far out there. He easily gets back, but like I said, can't be that close. You need base runners down by 6 runs.
Here's Steve Lombardozzi, 1 for 3 tonight. And Bud Norris about to throw his 100th pitch. Seven for 15 to start the season. Every at bat left-handed. He waits for a good pitch on 2-0, and it's another multi-hit game for Steve Lombardozzi.
I mean, how do you just not fall in love with this guy? He does everything right, fundamentally sound. Every time he gets a start, he does something to help his ball club. And just a lousy 2-hit night for Lombardozzi after a 4-hit night his last start.
And they love it in Columbia, Maryland. 2 on, 1 out. Nationals box score. There's enough offense out there going on tonight to be contending to win a ball game. Multi-hit game for Lombardozzi. Interesting, nobody else has 2 hits other than Danny Espinosa, so the table setters have gotten it done. And here's Brad Mills. I'm sure he's pretty irritated about that call still.
I was just about to say he might be leaving his starter out there a little bit too long with Espinosa and Zimmerman coming up.
Wesley Wright and Wilton Lopez throwing.
He hasn't made a move yet. He's talking to Bud Norris, seeing how he feels. And he is going to stick with his right-hander. Danny Espinosa with a couple of good at-bats tonight. A double in the third, a single in the fourth, and the guy on deck, a 3-run homer.
Danny has doubled down the right field line, pulled a clean single through the hole on the right side. And Espinosa suddenly having a good series, 4 for 9.
I've been in that situation before. You're seeing the ball big off a guy, got a couple of hits, and the manager goes out there, and you're thinking to yourself, please leave him in.
That's a swing, says Tim Cheetah, the crew chief down at third base on a breaking ball in the dirt. That tonight has been the pitch to get Bud Norris out of trouble time after time.
And he's done a nice job of mixing it up and making it appear to be a fastball. In the last second, breaking it off sharp.
Well, just one out here in the sixth. Home run hitter on deck. A chance to change this one in a hurry. He goes straight change and gets a strike. Ryan Zimmerman, a 3-run homer back in the third that made it a 5-4 game. Nats haven't been able to break through since.
I think in Brad Mills' defense, part of the development process is having your young pitchers learn how to battle and get through jams.
Espinosa waits for that one and gets it out to the left side.
Because if you have a young staff and every time they get in a little bit of trouble, you go out there and take them out of the game, how are they ever going to know how to battle through adversity? And I think Bud Norris, a lot like Edwin Jackson, has done a nice job tonight of getting out of some jams.
Dugout coach, bench coach Joe Patini right down there with Brad Mills. And then Doug Brocail. Joe Patini, a lot of years in St. Louis with Tony La Russa, first year on the Houston staff. Game situation here, 6th inning.
And the 6-run cushion affords you the opportunity to let a guy work through it.
Target is in. Espinosa, left center. Jordan Schaefer covering the ground, makes the play. 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, he can go get him.
Yeah, he's good. He's put on quite a show with the legs and the glove in this series, and he was playing anything but toward left center when that pitch was made.
Yeah, he was playing Danny Espinosa the pull, and this ball is hit. Espinosa putting a charge in another baseball tonight. And Jordan Schaefer, you see him calling it right there? And Bud Norris is pumped.
I think I just saw Bud Norris say, Schaefer, yes. Calling his buddy out by name on a great catch.
He was calling him by name so that he knew that he had the ball, and I think Jordan Schaefer probably heard him all the way from the on-deck circle to deep left center field.
All right, here's Zimmerman with 2 outs now. The Nats will be into the Houston bullpen for a good part of the late innings. But you never know when your last chance is going to happen. Ryan, 2 really good at bats, lined hard to center before the home run. And then Norris worked him over to strike him out on 3 pitches in the 4th inning. But this time he missed with the slider. There's the fastball. And Ryan pops it off the end of his bat. Second baseman Jose Altuve takes it. Now the Nats have stranded 8 base runners in a 10-4 game. your friend in the digital age, with our game summary. Another big night for Jose Altuve, who has 5 hits in this series. Danny Espinosa has 4 hits in the series. Ryan Zimmerman finally got his first home run of the year. I guess honorable mention here to Bud Norris, huh? Hanging tough for 6.
Yeah, he did a nice job. But how about Jose Altuve? Got a little Dustin Pedroia in him, little guy that swings hard and got some pop in his bat. And he has been all over every single fastball he's seen this whole series.
Mark DeRosa into the ballgame to play right field. Tom Gorzolani's still pitching. So this is a straight-up substitution for Jason Worth. And Mark DeRosa needs some at-bats.
He'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You get Mark some at-bats, and you get Jason Worth off his feet.
On the first pitch, a chopper that hit on the plate. And Zimmerman very quick and strong with the throw. Bogusevic, who was 3 for 3, retired there. Tom Gorzolani facing 9 men last inning, 5 runs on 6 hits. Some nights, FP, because of the nature of the ball game, and a very good ball club coming in this weekend in Florida, sometimes pitchers, those long relief guys, have to take one for the squad.
Well, Davey Johnson always talks about, maybe you sacrifice 1 game to win 2 or 3. And there's certain times when maybe a game's out of reach, and you never know, you might get back in the game. But Davey talks all the time about knowing how to lose. And it's something he's learned throughout the course of his many years as a big league manager. What do you do in those games as a skipper when you think your team doesn't have a chance? You never run and really admit it, but if you're realistic in a 162-game schedule, you're not going to win every game. And there's going to be some stinkers here or there, and how do you handle that as a skipper? You set yourself up for the next series, the next game. There's certain games where you go all in, and we're going to win this game no matter what, and I'm not going to worry about tomorrow. And then there's other ones, like maybe tonight in the 7th inning, down by 6 runs, where you have to start thinking about the Marlins coming in for a big weekend series.
That ball is hit hard to left center by Matt Downs. They are plugging gaps all over the place tonight, and that hops into the bullpen. And Downs has a triple with a double. And he hadn't had any at-bats in this series coming into tonight. It's pretty good when you can think back on the first 2 weeks of the season, and you distinctly remember every game you lost, because there's only been 3 of them. The tight game in Chicago when Jeff Samardzija pitched very deep into the game. The 4-3 loss at New York a week ago Monday, when the young man Neuenhuis hit the home run, and John Roush, the former Nat, shut down Washington that night. Edwin struggled a little bit early. And then the game Sunday against Cincinnati, when 3 bad calls helped the Reds score 4 runs, and the Nats just couldn't battle back, lost it in extra innings. So this is really the first game of this nature we've had to experience this year.
And that's going to happen. I mean, you're due for something like that over the course of a 6-month season. It's all about winning series, and they've won every single series this season so far.
Right up the middle, right over the bag by Castro. Downs around to score, and it's 11-4.
And there comes a time when you take one for the team, and there also comes a time when your earned run average is unsalvageable, because for relievers and guys like Tom Gorzolani, they're not going to get a chance for their ERA to go down. So when you have one tough night as a reliever, it takes you months to get that ERA back to where you want it.
Astros kind of look like they want to get back home to cozy Minute Maid Park, doesn't it?
Yeah, they only go there for 3 days, and they play the Dodgers, so good luck. And then they go back on the road again to Milwaukee and Cincinnati. So their schedule doesn't get any easier after tonight.
Trying to break a 4-game losing streak, and they're trying to slug their way to it. Yeah, Milwaukee, when they play them, that'll be their first divisional games of the young season. Low and inside to Marwin Gonzalez. And I'd be kidding you if I told you Bud Norris was on deck, but he's not. Justin Maxwell. I think they've gotten him enough runs to give him the rest of the night off. Norris threw 108 pitches, 72 strikes for the former Nat. Maxwell awaits. And that's a long 6 innings. 108 pitches.
It's a lot shorter, though, when you're sitting on a W.
In on the hands of Gonzalez. Lombardozzi waiting to be called off the ball, and Nady does. 2 outs. Right down I-95, the Potomac Nationals started another homestand tonight. Go see some high A ball this weekend. Saturday fireworks, Sunday Superheroes Day. PotomacNationals.com or 703-590-2311. Well, Bud Norris, 6 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, couple of walks, 6 strikeouts. Quite a battle he waged tonight.
And he's just talking to anybody that'll listen about his outing right now.
Justin Maxwell in this series, 2 for 7 with an RBI. We'll be checking the box scores frequently for the Astros to see how our old buddy from the University of Maryland is doing. Out of Sherwood High School, where Justin was a 4.0 student and a baseball basketball star. By the way, he chose Maryland over Harvard.
Wow.
That's how good he was academically. He hit 299, 71 RBIs in 3 years with the Terps.
Hard worker, too. I was out here at 2 o'clock today, and he was with his strength coach running sprints all over the outfield.
Ryan Matthews for the 8th when that rolls around. The Nats will have LaRoche, DeRosa, and then the pitcher's spot due up bottom 7 after the stretch. High fastball for the strikeout. So Gorzolani touched for another run on 2 hits. And it's time to stretch. Long night at the ballpark. 11-4 Houston. To you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer tomorrow. Gorgeous night in our nation's capital, but it's been a busy scoreboard, mostly in Houston's favor this evening. And when you'd like to know exactly what's going on with your Nats, alerts you can't miss, including starting lineups and in-game updates, text Nationals to 29292. 28-year-old right-hander Wilton Lopez from Nicaragua. 4th year for the Astros. 73 games in relief last year and a 2.79 ERA. 296 the year before that. So in the last 2 years, he's pitched in 141 games and has been pretty effective.
A 3-pitch guy, fastball, slider, change. Fastball in the low 90s.
Pretty good waiver pickup by the Astros from San Diego, April of '09. Adam LaRoche leads off. Adam is 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a walk. Hope you can join us for the weekend. The Marlins are coming. And we'll give you those pitching matchups for the weekend series again. Tomorrow night, Ross Detweiler and the one and only Carlos Zambrano, who has started 12 games in his career against the Montreal Washington franchise and has been tough to beat at 8-3. Steven Strasburg, Anibal Sanchez for the 105 game on Saturday. And at 135 Sunday, Gio Gonzalez, Josh Johnson. Two good ball clubs and some outstanding pitching matchups. And there's Ross in the middle and Steven Strasburg on the right. Jordan Zimmerman did his job last night.
And the Marlins have some pitchers that can hit. Zambrano can hit. Josh Johnson might be the best hitting pitcher in the big leagues.
Okay, I'm just going to do this to see if you have even a wild guess as LaRoche lines out hard to the shortstop Gonzalez up the middle. How many career home runs do you think Carlos Zambrano has? I was shocked when I saw this.
You know why I know this? Because he passed me and tied me last year, I think. I had 21. I think he has 22 or 23.
He has 23 career home runs. You know, can I get a picture of you two sluggers standing side by side tomorrow?
It's embarrassing when a pitcher passes you on the all-time home run list.
I didn't mean to, set you up for that. I would just, when I saw that number, I'm like, I don't think any pitchers have had a total like that since the days of maybe Don Drysdale or Bob Gibson.
Well, we know one thing about the Marlins. They're colorful in more ways than one.
Still trying to figure out exactly what those new team colors are. So DeRosa here after coming in to play right field, and Chad Tracy next in a pinch hitting appearance. Sorry about that, buddy. I won't bring that up again.
No, that's okay. I think Harold Reynolds and I are tied at 21. It was a big deal when Carlos Zambrano passed both of us. We were both a little bit frustrated that a switch hitting pitcher passed us on the all-time list.
Well, he had to play a long time to catch you guys.
Yeah. I did that in 1 year, and it took him 20 to pass me.
2 outs here in the 7th, and Chad Tracy will be the hitter. So DeRosa getting an at-bats and playing time tonight. Now Chad Tracy, who is 2 for 9 overall with 3 RBIs. All 3 of those as a pinch hitter. On 2 of them on a hit, another one on a ground ball. Got to get these guys some reps here and there.
So hard to come into a game like this and focus and concentrate, especially when you've had big at-bats with the game on the line. But you know what? You have to trick yourself and pretend that it's a big at-bat and get some work done.
Tracy hits that ball well out to center, but Jordan Schaefer is there. He's everywhere. I saw him on the Metro the other day. Top of the 8th, not really, but he could if he wanted to. Carlos Zambrano, no record yet this year, but a pretty good ERA, 3.75 in his first 2 starts. And Ross Detweiler, 0.90 in his 2 starts. 10 innings, only 1 earned run. And that's a pretty solid righty-lefty pitching matchup for tomorrow. Johnny and Ray, Nats Extra from the ballpark at 6:30. FP and I sign on from the booth at 7. And the left-hander from Missouri will throw first pitch at about 7:05. Top of the 8th, top of the order for the Astros. Call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics, and for Ryan Matthews, appearance number 8.
Yeah, 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, slider split for Matthews. And he got the win in last night's game.
Funny game. He gave up a run in the 8th. Guys get 2 to take the lead, and then Rodriguez comes in and nailed down his 3rd save. Some nights you pitch great, and a little bloop falls in somewhere, and you're beat. Jordan Schaefer, first pitch swinging. Espinoza blocking it well with his body. Jordan Schaefer 1 for 5 tonight, and 5 for 15 in the series.
I tell you what, I don't know what's going to happen down the road here around the trade deadline, but I'm sure Mike Rizzo has made a mental note of Jordan Schaefer in the center field he's played in this series.
What will he be hitting 2.5 months from now? Yeah. Left-handed hitter, guy can lead off. His on-base percentage coming into the ballgame tonight was .404.
And if it's in the park, he's going to catch it.
I hope the young Houston pitching staff will give him some things he can catch next year when they're facing American League teams at Minute Maid Park. Talked about this the other night. Same division with Texas and Anaheim. You know, Seattle's going to be a little better than they've been, and Oakland still trying to get things going out there, but that is a dramatic move from one league to another and a whole different mindset offensively.
It's a different brand of baseball, a lot like tonight's game.
When the Astros first opened Minute Maid Park, they had Roger Clemens and Andy Pettit. Remember Brandon Backey? He was pretty good. They had Brad Lidge in his prime in their bullpen. Look at this Altuve kid. That ball is hit a mile to right center, and Bernardina jumps up, lands at the base of the wall to make the catch. This guy would have like 3 or 4 home runs in Houston if he swings the bat like this.
He has no idea that he's 5'5".
Somebody tell him, please.
He just goes up there, and every single time.
Amazing.
Does not miss a fastball. I've never seen a hitter this year and in a long time be on the fastball like he is. And whether he's hot or not, we don't know. It's a small sample size, but he has impressed both of us in this 4-game series.
The only time the Nats made him look bad is when Edwin Jackson threw him 4 breaking balls in the same at bat. Struck him out back in the 5th inning. That ball stroked into left. JD Martinez has a 2-hit night with a couple of RBIs. That is David Carpenter.
Any relation?
Yeah, he's related to Matt Carpenter of the Cardinals. Who's not related to Chris Carpenter, who's not related to me. Little flare, that's going to drop in off the bat of Carlos Lee, and for the first time in this series, he has a 2-hit night. Carlos Lee in this series, 3 for 17 with 3 total bases.
And there's only two guys in the Astros lineup that don't have a two-hit night, and that's Jordan Schaefer and Gonzalez.
Well, Houston just came out slugging tonight. Edwin Jackson did so well to battle his way through 4 more innings after that 5-run first. 1 or 2 out at bats go a different way for the Nationals. They could have won this game. Don't mean to speak in the past tense just yet. The time running out, down by 7. These guys keep swinging from the heels.
And these are the games as a player, obviously, you don't like because you're behind, but when you're down by 7 runs and your manager doesn't have to manage, I mean, he sees everything. So a lot of times when you're getting beat like this, a manager likes to see what approach you have throughout the course of a game that you have not a great chance of winning.
Bernardina has it. Astros strand a couple. Bottom of the 8th, Ramos, Bernardina, and Nady coming up. Coming up. And remind you, tomorrow the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report is back. Mel Antonin at the ballpark today hanging out with us. He'll join Tom Davis, Phil Wood, and Dave Johnson. All the latest Nats news and information, and a big-time preview of a very good weekend series.
Dierks Bentley going to be on there?
Dierks Bentley is June 2nd FP. David Carpenter, originally drafted by St. Louis in the 12th round, 06, and then acquired by Houston for infielder Pedro Feliz a couple of summers ago, August 19th, when St. Louis had some injury problems at third base and needed Feliz to fill in. So here's David Carpenter, 34 games as an Astro last year with a .293 ERA in just 28 innings. He pitched at AA and AAA that year as well.
Yeah, 2-pitch guy, fastball and a slider. His fastball go mid to upper 90s. Got a good arm.
Wilson Ramos 1 for 3 tonight. Breaking ball outside. Ramos 8 for 36 on the year with a homer and 4 RBIs, including 1 tonight.
That always used to make me scratch my head, and it still does to this day as a player and as a broadcaster. When a guy comes in out of the bullpen and he's got a plus fastball and he starts a guy off with the slider, especially up by 7 runs.
Keeping that ball away from Ramos, and obviously has a good fastball, mid-90s. Carpenter, a big guy. He's from Morgantown, by the way, 6'2", 216, and Sean Burnett gets hot for the 2nd time tonight. Tight slider, low and away. Roger Bernardina. A walk and a base hit tonight. And some Powder River action on 3 fastballs for that strikeout. Next up, Roger Bernardina.
Yeah, just some high heat right here. And Wilson Ramos couldn't catch up.
Roger Bernardina has found his batting eye in this series. He's walked 3 times out of 5 times total on the year. A couple of hits. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI, so he's been on base 5 times in this 4-game series. Not playing every day. One ball and 2 strikes. 86 on that changeup, so 9-10 mile an hour difference between off speed and the fastball. Nady waiting. Two balls and 2 strikes. Target away. Bernardina rifles it up the middle. 3 times on base for Roger tonight.
Another good game for Roger Bernardina. Starting to heat up a little bit. Turn a 95 mile an hour fastball around.
A 3 for 5 series with 3 walks.
And Davey said he wanted to get him some at bats. He wanted to keep him going, or get him going, I should say. And that's just pretty. Look at, very simple, very short.
And Bernardina goes from 161 to 206 tonight. Here's another at bat for Xavier Nady, who came into play left field in the 6th. And he pops this one up right field for Brian Bogusevic, out number 2. And we'll see if Steve Lombardozzi can collect another big game in this series. 4 hits Monday night, 2 for 4 tonight. He is 8 for 16 this season. More hits than he had last September, when he went 6 for 31 after his call-up. He had 309 at AA Harrisburg, AAA Syracuse combined. Some impressive extra base hit totals, too. That one taken away by Altuve, and this one goes into the top of the 9th. Houston on 17 hits, a 7-run lead. They got it going early tonight. Then they put the pedal to the metal again in the 6th inning. And as we said, tough to win a 4-game series. And still, the Nats are going to be winners even if they don't pull this one out tonight, 8 of their last 10.
It's baseball. I mean, you can't win every single game. And I think the positives you take out of this baseball game is that, you know, you judge a guy by how he pitches when he doesn't have his best stuff. And tonight, Edwin Jackson didn't have his best stuff. His location, his command was off in the first inning. He gave up 5 runs, but he kept his ball club in the game. They had a chance to tie this game very early. So you got to tip your cap to Edwin. A very gutty performance tonight. And like I always say, anybody can go out there with their good stuff. That's easy. But what do you do on the days when you don't feel good? And I think he battled through this one nicely.
That he did through 5 innings. Gorzolani had to take a few for the team in his 2 innings of work. And then an inning by Ryan Matthews. And here's Sean Burnett for the top of the 9th. Houston leads off with Matt Downs. He's had a good night. Triple, RBI first inning, and a double. 2 runs scored. 2 for 4. First time we've seen him in this series. Astros are a mixture of up-and-coming young players like Altuve and Marwin Gonzalez and J.D. Martinez. Chris Johnson's been around there for a while. And then some other guys like Jordan Schaefer and Travis Buck. Justin Maxwell would fall into this category, and so would Matt Downs. Guys who've kind of had cameos here and there at the major league level, but trying to find their way with a ball club of opportunity now in Houston.
And you have to take advantage of that opportunity. I think Matt Downs has done just that tonight. His first start in the series, and he's hit the ball hard every single time up tonight.
Swing and a miss on a tailing fastball. Sean Burnett goes 2-2. And the ball drilled to right field for Mark DeRosa, who can play just about anywhere on the diamond for the first out. W.B. Mason presents Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. Nats Extra postgame. It's coming up from the ballpark here right after tonight's game. And something that Pete talked about earlier, and I know Ray is aware of because he was in that situation as a manager many times. And you put it in interesting fashion, I thought, when you said learning how to lose. That does not mean you're getting used to it or you're accepting it, but how to make the most of a ball game when your pitching staff gets hit hard some night and you don't want to run everybody out there to get 27 outs. In this case, the Nats will limit that to 3 guys out of the bullpen after Edwin Jackson got those 5 innings.
Yeah, there's different philosophies. Felipe Alou used to play every game like it was the 7th game of the World Series. He figured on that day for 3.5 hours he was going to do everything he could to win that baseball game and fire all bullets. I'd be interested to stick around and hear what Ray Knight has to say and what his philosophy was as a manager in games where maybe he felt like his team didn't have a shot to win. When do you figure that out? What inning do you figure that out? And when do you call off the dogs and start to worry about tomorrow's baseball game?
Yeah. Good big breaking ball by Sean to get Jason Castro. And here's Marwin Gonzalez. 1 for 4 tonight. Well, it makes you feel okay when it's the last inning of a 4-game series and you're seeing the other team warm up their closer for the first time. Brett Myers has been idle in the Houston bullpen this week. He's going to get some mop-up work ahead by 7. They need to get him in there for some outs. He has a couple of saves, but the former Philadelphia starter and reliever is the Houston closer, and the Nats know him well from his days up in Philly.
And I just heard that Ray and Johnny are going to break down all 28 hits in 15 runs in Exmo on the postgame show.
Was it a 90-minute show tonight?
Yes.
Wow. I see some scrambling out there in the left field television booth. Just remember, FP, every night they've got the last word.
They absolutely do.
Johnny and Ray huddling,
getting ready for the big show.
And I know they're hanging on our every word. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and a good inning for Sean Burnett. Routine fly ball, 2 strikeouts. Espinosa, Zimmerman, and LaRoche. The Nats need 6 and an extra point. FP and myself that are on their way to the booth right now. And they'll be about as insightful as we will be after this one.
You guys wait for us. We'll be right there.
Yeah, don't go away. All right, bottom of the 9th inning. And we don't mean to make light of a night like this when you're getting, hammered. But the Astros, give them credit. They've been frustrated by the Nats pitching staff for 3 games in a row. And you can sit around and cry about one like this, or you can take what you can out of it and get back after it tomorrow night against a good Florida Marlins team that is now on a bit of a roll with a record of 7-6, and they've won 4 straight.
It's baseball. It happens. You still have the most wins in baseball. You're still in first place, and you've still won all 4 series this year. So, yeah, you can't do it every single night. There's going to be nights like this on the schedule. I'll tell you what, you'd rather lose a game like this than a heartbreaking 3-2 loss, a 4-3, 2-1. Those are the ones that stick with you in the clubhouse. And as tough as this game was for a few guys on the Nationals, it's easy to turn the page and get ready for tomorrow night's game. Easier, I should say, than losing a tough, close one.
Brett Myers gets Espinosa to swing and miss, turned one over on him. Danny, a good night, 2 for 4. So in this series, he's 4 for 10 with a walk. And this is a bat the Nats need badly. I made the note that back in the 3rd when he doubled, that was his first extra base hit since that opposite field home run he hit the first weekend at Wrigley Field. Danny is a number 2 guy who can drive the ball, and that curveball just locks him up. When the Nats used to face Brett Myers as a Philly, he had one of the best hooks in the National League.
Well, that one wasn't too shabby right there.
Ryan Zimmerman 1 for 4 tonight with a 3-run homer. So he has 6 hits and 5 RBIs in this series. Good to see that during this series, to a certain extent, Espinosa and Zimmerman, their bats have come alive. Couple that with LaRoche and Worth, who've been so consistent, and you've got some high hopes for the weekend. This will be a 6-2 homestand after tonight. You'll take that with 3 games left. It could be fantastic by the time the guys get on the plane Sunday for San Diego.
And like I said earlier, repeating myself, tomorrow night to me is a power check.
Yeah. Zambrano, Reyes, Ramirez, Stanton, and the Marlins. Zimmerman takes a strike. Braves just got 2 in the first at Arizona. Freddie Freeman has hit his 2nd homer of the year. And the Phillies are just underway in San Diego. 2-1 to Ryan. I'm looking at this box score correctly. Jimmy Rollins is batting with 2 men aboard in the first inning. So they're leading off Juan Pierre, batting Polanco 2nd and Rollins 3rd. In this time, they're without Chase Utley. Hunter Pence is batting 4th, and then Victorino. Charlie Manuel having to get creative. Big moment tonight. 5-1 game became 5-4 with 1 swing.
Checking in with his first hater, and it was a big one to left. Back of the bullpen job. And it had the sound, and it definitely had the distance. And he's been waiting for that one for about 13 games.
2-2 to Ryan. He made an offer. Ball 3. Red Meyer's 3rd year with Houston. 33 starts each of the last 2 years and working as their closer now. Zimmerman with a comebacker on a breaking ball away. 2 outs.
That's one of those ABs as a player. You go back to the dugout, you're mumbling to yourself, you're up by 7 runs, throw me a fastball in a 3-2 count.
Yeah. And LaRoche, first pitch swinging. And this one is over in 3 hours and 7 minutes. Astros over the Nats, big 11-4. More in a moment.